stop your camera and mute yourself if you can when you come on. I appreciate that. Hey, Daniel Leakey. So, guys, let's get started because we've got a lot of information. We have a special guest that's going to come on today that is really going to help you kind of understand a lot about social media. We've been teaching you guys about it. I'm not going to go into too much about our weekend. As I said, if you just came on, please mute yourself. There's going to be a lot of you guys coming on, and you'll mute yourself as you go through this. But I just wanted to tell you guys, hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing?
How you doing?
What's up, my brother?
Looks like a great weekend you had there.
Oh man, I'm about to talk about it, my brother. So now that we're live and recording, guys, I've always said that the best thing that you can do is invest in yourself. And before our special guest comes, and I'm going to do a little teaching after Tara teaches you guys. And I'm going to let Lisa, I put just a little nuggets on there about Tara, and Lisa knows her a little bit better than me. Can you just make sure that she's on? And guys, I have learned so much. And let me explain something to you. You can always be learning and growing. I'm going to talk to you guys. If you don't listen to podcasts, please listen to podcasts, okay? Podcasts will not only encourage you and strengthen who you are. You guys, as you're coming on, please mute yourself. Let me just mute everybody. That will help tremendously. Let me mute everybody. Okay. So if there she is. All right. Hey, Tara. Before I start with Tara, and I'm going to just share a couple things that I found out this weekend hey, Mike, while we were in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. And while we were in Nashville, I don't know why. Okay, there we go. And while we were in Nashville this weekend, Lisa and I, we went to an event called Funnel Hackers Live. And guys, it was one of the best. At least you guys know, those of you guys that do know us, most everybody is on here knows us, that we invest in ourselves. We've invested a ton of money in ourselves, and we had a massive breakthrough in the last 3 weeks. But then have you ever heard pouring the fuel on the fire, right? You just continue to, Tara's shaking her head. You just continue to pull that fuel on the fire, and you surround yourself around amazing people. Those of you that know, with my coaching business, I'm planning a live event in November, and 3 of the speakers at my live event were speaking at Funnel Hackers Live this weekend. And another one was my friend Pedro Dea, who we got to spend a lot of time with, is how I met Tara. And guys, you can do more. And after Tara's done talking tonight, I'm going to go through a teaching that Brendon Burchard did, that if you don't listen to podcasts, you have to listen to Brendon Burchard. Christian guy, just, I don't know if maybe some of you guys have never even heard of him, but all of his podcasts are #1 on iTunes. Like he started one with his wife and it went to #1, right? And why? Because he's an influencer. And I'm going to talk to you guys about 7 habits of an influencer tonight. And I can promise you that if you listen and put this stuff into action, it will not only change your business, but it will drastically change your life. I look at myself in the mirror today, and I say to myself, and Lisa and I talk about this all the time, like I'm in the best place I've ever been. My friend Pedro says, when you're there, you're walking in your favor, right? You're just, you know you're there, you know what you're doing. I actually seen our guest Tara talk a lot about that on her Facebook page. Like, knowing you're in the right place at the right time, knowing you're with the right people, knowing that, like my friend Myron Golden, who sat with me on the plane on the way home, was one of the speakers at Funnel Hackers Live. He spoke more than anybody. He spoke 3 times, him and Brendon Burchard. And we've built relationships, and I've nurtured relationships. And guys, you have to continue to reach outside your comfort zone. One of my favorite speakers this weekend was a guy named Alex Charfen. You guys have heard me teach some of Alex's stuff on these usually Thursday night, but now Sunday night. We're going to go back to Thursday, but on these calls. Guys, I'm building a relationship. Alex talked to me about speaking at my event in 2020. Okay? I'm already looking ahead, and I'm going to talk to you guys about some of that stuff tonight. But first, I am going to, let me do this. I am going to pull something up here, and then I'm going to let my wife kind of help me here. Let me get to this where you can do this. All right, let me see how this works. And she's probably gonna laugh at me when she sees some of the stuff I wrote on here.
There she goes.
But she's laughing already. So I'm gonna unmute you, Tara, if that's okay. All right. Is it working? Okay. Test and just see if I can hear you real good.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. All right. So I'll just read a couple things and then I'll let Lisa kind of tell you some of the things that Lisa has taken away from Tara. Is that we got to sit at a table with her at an event that we went to when we were at the 100X day in Tampa. She lives in Bradenton, which is where Lisa's family lives. She worked for a very large network marketing company that we will talk about that, but she's no longer in the corporate side. I gave her this title. She's the CEO of Reality Coach. And that's what she wants to be, because I believe that's part of you stepping in. And what Lisa and I saw is she was doing stuff on social media that other people just weren't doing. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to let her talk. Okay. So Lisa just said, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let her share. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to let her share her screen. And Tara, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let you take over. And I think I need to make you a co-host. Let me do that. Make you a co-host. Okay. And guys, this is recording, but take some notes because she's going to show you how she gets thousands and thousands of people to look at her content.
Super simple stuff.
With super simple, easy. And Tara, tell me if you agree with me that anybody can do this, right?
Yeah.
I lost you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. It's literally something I learned in 15 minutes, just getting a few tips and the courage to actually just go out in there and do it.
Perfect. All right. So why don't you, I'll just let you take over. I'll let you take your screen over, show some of the basic things that you do. And guys, when Tara, we did this exact same thing with her, and we're like, we want you to show it to our friends in our community. And you can see there's a lot of people in here tonight. I'm glad that you guys took the time out. I can just tell you this. Before she starts, I want to tell you one thing. You can sit here and watch all this tonight, but if you don't implement it and don't do it, which is what I'm going to talk about after she's done, and I think it'll encourage her. What I'm going to teach after this is because we have things that we hear, but we're not intentional about putting these things into action, right? So Lisa and I, we come back from these events and we're super pumped up. But this time we're coming back and we looked at each other and we've already started. We know what we're going to do after this call. We're going to prepare for our week. We're going to be very intentional about what we do. We're going to schedule posts. We're going to do all the stuff that we need to do to be successful in both of our businesses. And so, girlfriend, take it away.
All right. Let me see.
If you don't listen to her, she just might throw an axe at you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so jealous that we didn't get to make it to that.
If you guys didn't know, they went to an axe throwing. They went to an axe throwing today. So she's
Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Hold on.
That's all right.
Stop. Share. Okay, let me get on the right one. Okay.
Quite okay.
There we
You
go.
find it? There you go.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
So my page literally started just over 30 days ago. I've developed kind of my branding of what I want to do, which is to help people dream again and turn their dreams into their reality, which is where I came up with that name. I've used a few simple posts to I boosted them based on content that I find that I feel like speaks to me and who the target audience that I want. And if you use Facebook and narrow down your niche to specific targeted audiences, you get the most results.
Can you show us how to do that, what that means to you?
Yep, let me find, well, here, I I found this post right here.
And now you're
and
on your.
I
Can you
am-
explain to them that you're on your
I'm on
page.
my own page right now.
Yes.
So I'll just boost this post with you live so that you can see it.
Okay,
So,
awesome.
I found this image that kind of spoke to me because one of my branding tools is to find your sparkle. So they obviously have glitter and it says, after trusting in God, allowing him to order my steps, and then their feet are sparkly.
Yeah. I like it.
So if you find something that means something to you and speaks through you and to your targeted audience, it's always good to boost the posts to get the most engagement. So I just posted this yesterday at 5:30 and I didn't do anything to it, and it already reached 329 people, 79 or 76 engagements, and 7 shares. But if you boost it, you just hit boost right at the bottom right there. And I don't want to. You can animate them, but I haven't found that animating them does anything. It sometimes loses value.
Yeah.
So you can create targeted ads based on a budget and based on specific age ranges and locations and things like that. So I'm going to.
So guys, while she's looking and showing you guys this, so for you guys, it might be biohacking. It might be people who are looking to lose weight. It's people for the, like we're getting ready for the physique challenge, which Tara, we're getting ready for starting March 1st. The company is launching a physique challenge where they're giving $1,000 to a male and $5,000 to a female for using our physique products, and they're going to give $5,000 to a male winner and $5,000 to a female winner. It's a 90-day challenge.
Yeah. So you pick your budget. You pick how long you want to run for. 7 to 10 days usually seems to work good for me. And then you do this, choose people through targeting. So the easiest way, most people will just do people who like their page or their friends, but you can choose custom audiences and do it through targeting and go all the way down to a specific city and a state. So I'm going to use people I choose through targeting, and
So these are cities in Texas of people that you've targeted.
I feel like I used to have one that had, okay. So I created, once you've done it once or twice, you can name them certain things. Yeah. And then so I can show you, like, you can target down to like religion, empowerment, what your post is saying. So a lot of mine is faith-based, so I use God and mindset and motivation. All of these you can type into the search field, and then from there you pick what you want to hit targeting to, and it'll tell you, and then you literally just hit, your Facebook is already set up through your PayPal, and you hit save, and then it will send it out to all of your everything that through targeting, which will also then, when those people share it, give you the organic and the paid reach, which is,
and it has the potential of reaching 13 million people right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Why don't you show us one,
so,
like you've done, some of the ones you've done before that have really, really good, like the ones you've showed us where you've got 34,000 engagements, and all the ones that you've got, like, it was pretty cool taking a look at some of that.
Yeah, let me see. So my page is just over 30 days old. I've spent maybe, let me see if it'll even tell me how much I've spent. Not very much at all.
26, 36.
Yeah. So 50, 60 bucks. But when you, let's see where I can find
That one right.
This was the first one that I did.
Yeah, that one. Show that one, because that'll show you how many people engaged and what they did and how many people you reached on that one. So
Yeah. So this one was 3,600 paid reach with 1,500 engagements for $15. But the actual
you had I
I
think
had
1.2
the organic
thousand commented, right?
yes, but the organic reach
838 shares.
from the organic reach from that was 33,000. So because people, the best thing that you can do is get somebody to share your post, because then it's free advertising to all of their friends, and that reaches even more than
And that
what
was
you
800
can
and
pay
some
for.
shares, right, Tara?
Yeah. Yep. So let me see if I can.
I like you told us, you said the great thing is that you can copy posts and you can share posts, and I think that one you just showed me had 35,000 people that it had reached that had either commented on it or liked it.
Yeah, let me see. Let me scroll down a couple and it'll show you the difference between what you pay for and then what it gives you on top of what it is from just your following. And all of these, I haven't even paid to boost any of these, but because now I've created that following, 463 people like and follow my page on a regular basis now, when it was, I think, 5 like a month ago. And so now my posts are reaching 1,000 people each time, and 142 are engaging with it without having to pay for anything else.
Yeah.
So you boost a couple of them, and that reach turns into a following, and then that's where you work on your.
And engagement, guys, is when people make comments, and these are people that she never knew before she made these comments.
Yeah,
so you can see people here saying, "I love your post. I love your post." These are potential people for you to go into a conversation, to know, like, and trust, and to build a relationship.
That's the key, is taking the time and energy up front.
475 people reached, 45 engagements. I mean, just some of these ones that she's got. 342 people, 32 engagements. So constantly she's just posting stuff. And Tara, why don't you tell us, like, and then I'll let some people ask some questions. Why don't you tell us what your posting schedule is and how you do that, what that looks like?
I try to post once or twice a day. Usually I found that the best content comes in the early morning when people are up getting ready for work, like between 7 and 8 a.m. And then in the evenings right before they're about to go to bed, like 8 or 9, 10 o'clock. So if I schedule a morning one, I might schedule an afternoon one, or I do one or the other, or I do both. But the good thing is you can also pre-schedule them ahead of time. Like I found a week's worth of content, and I just set up one of them every day to go at 7:45 in the morning, and I didn't have to do anything else for the week other than put in extra stuff if I want to. So it's something that you don't have to make a lot of effort to.
And so a lot of the people that are on here are in our network marketing company, obviously. And so they all so okay, let me just, there's a bunch of questions. So why don't you stop sharing, and then we'll just ask.
Mike Weingarten was asking, how do you schedule? So while she's on, maybe she can show them how to schedule the post.
Yeah, can you do that?
Yep. Let me get to the top. I always do this from my phone. So
okay, so that's really good.
But the one thing is, it's super easy to just do it from your phone and not have to like.
Actually, you can do it from the laptop, and I'll show them how you can do it that way then too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you yeah, I'm just gonna write hello.
Yeah, it's totally different than on your phone. It's
okay.
so
So you just hit schedule from the publish button and on your phone, and then you set in a date and a time, and then you just hit schedule, and then it'll auto post it for you right whenever you've picked it.
Right.
And I haven't found a limitation to how far out you can schedule. I don't try to do more than a week or so, and I haven't tried to do more than 7. So I don't know if there's a limit. Like, I don't know if you could do a whole month worth or anything, but I know you can at least do a week's worth.
And okay, thanks. Awesome. See if there's any more questions. Anybody else have any more questions? Tara, why don't you stop sharing your screen and I'll pull you and me both.
What countries do you target? Do you mainly stick to the US?
So what the reason he's asking
I'm
is
sticking to the US only because my target market would be in the US and I only speak English. So I didn't want to get into a situation where there would be.
So
But
what?
obviously you can target this specifically down to a zip code, to a city, or you can keep it super broad.
Yeah.
It's really, that's the good thing, is you can focus it in so deep that you can catch the exact people that you're trying to catch.
Yeah.
So developing your who and who you're trying to reach is a whole lot cheaper if you know exactly who they are and you can target down, and only the people that see your message will engage with it. If you cast this broad super net, you're paying for people that may not interact with your message.
Yeah.
So
I think the reason he's asking that is because a lot of our LifeVantage is growing in so many countries right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a great question to ask. So I think once you use these tactics and you can target people in certain countries, Chris, we're gonna talk some more about another piece that Fraser Brooks did on how to develop your know, like, and trust with other people in other countries. Because most of the countries we're in, even though, I mean, other than Taiwan and some of the other ones, a lot of them do speak English, you know. So we just went into France and some other countries. Spain just opened and it's killing it. So Taiwan is killing it. So yeah. Does anybody else have any more questions about boosting and posting and how to do that? Questions? You can just unmute yourself if you want and ask a question.
I have a question. This is Chris Faulkner.
Hey, Chris, go ahead.
Thank you. Are you using original content posts that you're creating using your own images, or are you using images you're finding?
Most of them are ones I've found. Some of them are ones I've created myself. But
And guys, if you don't know how to, I shared, if you haven't watched our recording from last week, we took Rachel Jackson's YouTube video on how to do social media. She is a 6-figure a month earner in network marketing. And if you guys haven't watched that, you got to watch it. And you guys, and Tara and I talked about this, you can use Canva. There's all kinds of different ways that you can use. But let me just tell you this, a lot of things that when you're doing these things is that you can boost videos, you can boost, there's all kinds of things you can boost. I learned this weekend that I'm not telling my story enough, right? You know, all about telling your story. The more you tell your story, the more you relate to people. One of my friends, Matt Maddox, who's raised his son to be a millionaire before the age of 16. Now think about this. Not only has he raised his son, but he's told a story about how he's raised his son, right? So now he boosts those posts, and it's funny. Caleb started I think $27 a month program that is for parents, right? Because he wants to reach the parents of the kids, right? He's sold 15,000 parents this program in a short period of time, all telling his story about how he's raised in his dad's home, how he started writing books at 9 and 10 years old. So does anybody else have a question? Anybody else want to unmute themselves and ask a question?
Yeah, Mike, as far as like boosting posts and even the scheduling that Tara was talking, is that just for like your business page or can you do that on your own personal page?
Nope, it's got to be a business page.
All right. Thanks.
Yep. Anybody else have a question? If you don't have a business page, you got to get a business page, guys. It's real simple. You guys see she had 35,000 engagements off of one post. One post. And I think, what did you tell me you spent? Like, you got like a couple.
That $15 on that one post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got 35,000 engagements, guys. That's a lot of effects. Okay. Right. It's a lot of people to know, like, and she told me she didn't know them. Didn't know any of them.
I don't know any of them.
Guys, how many of you on here would like, and type down in the comments if you would like to have 35,000 people commenting on your stuff? I don't know about you. I'm raising my hand. Right? All right. I'm raising my hand. Everybody's raising their hand. Betty raised her hand. Anybody else? You know? So anybody else have another question? Guys, let's
I have a question.
go ahead, Betty.
Now, you were talking about she paid $15. Is that just a one-time charge for that, and then it goes back down? But what I understood, if you send it to other people that you know through your Facebook, then you don't pay for anything.
Well, it depends. You want to talk about that? You paid for that. The sharing you don't pay for, but just talk about.
Yeah, sharing it you don't pay for. Boosting a post is kind of paid advertising.
It's like
So
$1. How much were you
Okay.
doing today, Tara? How much were you doing today on some of those?
$1
or
to
$2?
$1.50 a day. So you're paying
3,400
to
people.
reach extra people, but then if those people engage with it, then that goes to their friends and then that's free. So you're only paying for the people that Facebook shows it to, and then once those people engage, then you get the organic reach.
Yes,
versus the
and
paid.
here's another thing that boosts that post. So when people are starting to comment, Tara goes back and comments on every single one of those people that comments. That moves it to the front of those people's and her friends and their friends seeing it more. Okay.
Mhm.
Next week, we're going to talk about that, about how to go back and make sure, guys, if I'm carrying a conversation on with Tara right now, I'm not just going to go like this. Good job, Tara. Good job. Good job. No, make a comment, write out a comment. It boosts your algorithm up. It gets more of those other people's, like now I'm starting to realize I had people coming up to me at Funnel Hacking Live say, hey, I see you on Facebook all the time. And I'm like, who are you? Like, I don't even know who you are. Right. And as you go through building that reputation and building that following and continuing to boost your posts, it's going to happen. So anybody else, real quick, a question or a comment? Anybody? All right, cool. Tara, thank you so much.
No problem.
Glad that you came on and shared. I've had the, I love listening to people share things that they're passionate about. And, I'm just grateful that God knows what we need when we need it. We get to sit by the right people when we're supposed to sit by the right people. And, I know Tara worked on the corporate side of network marketing, so she knows the ins and outs of it. So
I do.
I'm hoping that she's going to come over and
Say?
teach us. She said she does. Because guys, I told Tara when I first met her, I did research for hundreds of network marketing companies. Like they would pay me to research their products. I did it for 20 years and never. I always thought they had the best products. Some of them, but then Tara and I've talked about that. But I finally found one that's there's never been a company that has. Look, essential oils are good. CBD oils are good. Those are all good products. But when you have patented products that no one else has in the industry, you have the availability to make a long-lasting legacy company. And we already know that, guys. That if you look at the stock market, this last week when it was up and down, every day we were up. When the stock market was down, we were up. And we're going to continue to go up. We're going to be a $20 and $30 and $40 and $50 stock. You guys know that 600% increase in the last 16 months is not a fluke. Stocks don't go up unless you have a product. Why do you think 95% of network marketing companies never go public? They don't want people to know what they're doing. They don't want, Tara could probably tell you horrific stories, right? She told me it was one of the reasons why she couldn't wait to get out of network marketing, working on the
You can't say anything.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the proof.
Exactly. And so when you have the proof, like we are attracting so much, and Tara can tell you this, nobody knew we were in network marketing. She did, but no one in our community that we met Tara in knows we're in network marketing. Why? Because we don't tell people, right? Why? Because we don't have to. People want to know what we're doing because they know, like, and trust us. And when, it's really funny now, we've had so many people join LifeVantage that we didn't even talk to them about. I signed up a doctor a couple weeks ago. I talked to him about it one time. Next thing you know, we're driving to South Carolina and we get a message that he signed up, right? So as you go through this process, guys, build relationships with people. Build relationships. Schedule the time that you're going to do this every single day. Tara, thank you so much for sharing.
Hey, guys.
I'm going to, if you want to stay, you're more than welcome to stay. I'm going to jump right into this Brendon Burchard stuff because you guys are going to freaking love this. I don't know how many of you guys have ever seen or heard who Brendon Burchard is, but he is absolutely one of my favorite people. Okay. So guys, take some notes. All right. I think this will change your life. Okay. Brendon Burchard. If you've never heard of him, subscribe to his podcast. His book, and I forget the name of it. Lisa will tell me. I wrote it down. Can you tell me his book that I wanted to purchase? I think I purchased it on iTunes. She's going to look it up for me. It's not Dean Graziosi's book. It's not the book I got. You just have to look it up in there. But Brendon has a book on high performance, okay, on how to perform. And guys, look, every single one of you on this call tonight have the ability to be a high performer. It's your choice. Maybe you've been going through life just existing, and maybe you're 40 or you're 50 or you're 70 or you're 20. Maybe you've just been doing the same things over and over. Maybe you've tried network marketing and you've never been successful. We use products from 5 different network marketing companies, but we're not going to build an essential oils or a CBD company. We're not going to do it because there's 1,500 of them. There's no NRF2 companies. There's nobody has what we have. So when he talked about it, I started realizing a lot of stuff about myself. I realized how successful all of you can be by influencing people. And we're going to talk about, because that's one of the things. So these 6 habits of high-performing people. And guys, Brendon Burchard works with Oprah and all kinds of professional athletes, Michael Phelps and Usain Bolt, just all these different people. And he said that the number one thing that you have to do as a high-performing person is you have to seek more clarity. You have to constantly be asking people questions. When you have conversations with new people, Tara has 35,000 new people from one post to ask questions to and to create a relationship with. Here's one of the other things he said. Look at the map before leaving. Don't just get on a trip and go. Know where you're going. How many of you do that? If you have an intentional way of you want to be a certain rank in a company and you're not doing very good at that, guys, people I'll give you this clarity at the ClickFunnels live event, which if you guys don't know what ClickFunnels is, I'll tell you about it some other time offline. It's how you can build a business online by doing exactly what Tara said, but through ClickFunnels, by doing ads and stuff like that. We won't get into it, but I saw Sean Poe at the event. Pro9 Sean Poe was at the event. Fraser Brooks was at the event. I'm just going to tell you guys, you're going to dig in and do whatever you want to do. I know what Lisa and I are going to do. Look, we're not going to create any distractions for anybody. Everything that we're going to do, that we're going to teach, is going to be duplicatable. And if people who want to go deeper come to us, we'll teach them more. He said, what is the intent? He said to this, Oprah says this to him every single time. Brendon, what is the intention of this meeting? And I love that. He says, take 40 to 60 minutes every day and relax. He said this can involve exercise or meditation Or like we know, the sleep doctor said, take a 45-minute nap and get up, set your alarm, get up. We have a sleeping pod at work. The other night, one night, a couple weeks ago, we worked really late and Lisa was in the sleeping pod. I wish I would have been in there, right? And I love this. He said, focus on 4 things: skill or self, skills, social, and service. He said, first, how do you want to describe your ideal self? How do you want someone to see you? Number 2, how do you want to behave socially? Guys, I've learned so much about how to behave socially. I've done it. Guys, you know why I can teach you this? I've done it all wrong. I'm not going back. I'm not doing those things anymore. I'm learning every day from my mistakes. I ask people, to teach me. Brendan's book is called High Performance Habits. Yeah, if you're a reader, read his book. I'm going to read it. Lisa's going to read it. Okay? What skills do you want to develop and demonstrate? Okay? And what service do you want to provide? Guys, you guys have a ton of services you can provide. You saw Tara wants to help women, female Christian entrepreneurs walk in purpose, right? Okay. Guys, I can't see the chat. So if you guys have a question, you'll have to unmute yourself and just, I can't see the chat, honey. So I don't. Oh, Michael Fleiner's reading it right now. Go figure. There's an influencer right there. And he's coming to see me on Tuesday. So while most people feel wiped out it's number 2, generate energy. While most people feel wiped out between 2 and 3 p.m. In the afternoon, successful people have learned to manage their transitions. They find time to rest and relax throughout the day. As you said, Brendan recommends that you spend 40 to 60 minutes relaxing and finding 45 minutes to nap. They recharge themselves throughout the day between activities, it's as if they generate energy throughout the day instead of losing it. Go for a walk. Never use the elevator. Guys, we only used the elevator when we got to the hotel this weekend and when we left. Every other time we use the stairs. Okay, I get up in our office because it's so big now, and I walk around and I come back and I'm completely focused. Guys, if you haven't ever read this guy's blog or friends with my friend Chris Yart, he wrote a book called Chris Cures Cancer. He found out he had stage 4 cancer, colon cancer, didn't do chemo, didn't do radiation. He completely healed himself. Natural. He said number 2, he said you can do it with 2 ways. Okay? I love freaking sharing this, guys. He said, number 1, he walked in complete forgiveness. He forgave everybody and that he had ever had a beef with and walked in complete forgiveness. And then he eliminated every ounce of stress in his life. When stress came in, he eliminated it. Forgiveness and elimination of stress. Okay, number 3. All right, number 3. Raise necessity. One of the most important high-performance habits is to understand why. You guys hear this all the time. Why is it important you are to do well? Because God called you to greatness. Guys, I don't care if you believe in God or not. He called you to greatness. He doesn't care if you're 20 or 30 or 60 or 70, right? Jenny's on here. She's striving for greatness. She's going out on top, okay? Some guiding questions are that you can ask yourself. Who are you doing this for? Guys, I get to do this with my wife because we're connected. If you're married on here and your spouse is not doing this with you, you need to begin to pray for them and lead by example, because your spouse should want to do this with you, okay? Your spouse should want to support what you do, okay? Who needs me to be on my A game? My wife, my team, my clients. I missed the ball on this for 5 years, guys. All right? I'm not missing it anymore. I'm going to be who God called me to be now, okay? To be a high performer, your job is to prime your ability to perform as an activity well. So everything that you do well. Presentations, Zooms. To do that, you have to raise the necessity so you enter with a high level of intention. So you perform with excellence, guys. You can't just go through life. The worst bumper sticker ever made is coexist. Worst one ever. I'm not going to just coexist, right? And I love this. Brendan said he was working with an Olympic gold medal sprinter. One day he said to the sprinter, when you're lined up against all of these sprinters and the difference in winning and losing is hundredths of a second, how do you know who is going to win? And he said, I would put my money on the person who says, I'm going to do this for my mom. One of the greatest races I ever saw was back in the 88 Olympics in Seoul, when a guy from Great Britain pulled his hamstring at the 200-meter mark, and his dad came out and helped him finish the race. Okay? You never quit. Quitting is not an option. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let me move this around so you guys can see. I've been having a little issues with my computer. Okay. The fourth habit of high performance, okay, is they realize that the main thing is the main thing. They don't let distractions get in the way by focusing only on the steps that are important. Increase productivity. That's why having clarity is so important. It gives you focus. Brandon said this before he started developing online courses. Guys, this guy has created courses online and is selling $300 to $400 million every year. And he just started, I think, 7 or 8 years ago, right? So think about this. He said he didn't know anything about video. Technology wasn't a strength. Speaking wasn't a strength, but he identified those skills as necessary. Okay? Like you guys have heard me. I don't like sales, but I'm learning, right? I'm learning it through influence. For his long-term success, he obsessively worked to develop things that he was actually good at, but he didn't like them. Okay? So he just honed in on them and worked on them. What's interesting is that many high performers didn't know they were thinking 5 moves ahead. They did it unconsciously. Okay? They didn't realize they constantly identified the absolute must-have skills for long-term success, and they went after it, guys. They did it every single day, even when they were tired, even when they didn't want to, right? They just did it. And I like what Brendan finished with. He said, now you know how to increase productivity, so you can do it. Let's go do it. All right. Number 5, develop influence. Any of you can develop influence. Anybody. That doesn't matter what your upbringing was. I told Chris this before we got on. A 2 Comma Club award in ClickFunnels is where a person does $1 million worth of business online inside of a funnel. All right? That can be selling a coaching program. That can be, I saw personal trainers and nutritionists just crushing it. And in the first 3 years, Russell, it's only 4 years old. In the first 3 years, he created ClickFunnels. They had 250 people did $1 million inside of a funnel in the first 3 years. In the last year, they did 243. So what took 3 years, they did it in 1 year. And it's rolling, guys. All right? We're going to do it. We've already said it. We've already declared it. Okay? And you guys can do it too. So number 5, help performers develop influence by teaching people how to think and challenge them to grow. Teach people how to think and you change their lives. High performers say things like this. Did you ever think of it this way? Or what if you approached it this way? I'm learning from this right now, guys. What do you think about this? Right? Never telling them that they're wrong, that you're right. I've done it, right? Over time, they train the people around them how to think. They have people that challenge them. Got people in my life, including Lisa, that challenge me every day, right? And like I said, because when you impact someone else's thoughts in a positive way, you have influence, right? And that's not all they do. Think of an influential person in your life right now. Think of somebody in your life, guys. All right? Think of an influential person in your life. Maybe a parent, a caregiver, a teacher, somebody that you read about. Choose someone who impacted your life. They taught you how to think about yourself or about others or about the world, or they also challenged you to grow. I think about my wife. I think about my pastor. It's not going to be a whole lot of people, guys. Okay. Why was this person so influential? They inspired you. How? How did they inspire you? They pushed you. How did they push you? Right? They always told you to be your best, right? That's this one. Every single day. She sharpens me and she pushes me. She sharpens me and she pushes me. Find those people in your life. It doesn't have to be your spouse, okay? High performers challenge the people they care about to grow. That's what makes the most difference where influence is concerned. If you're always offended by somebody challenging you and pushing you, you'll never grow. You'll never grow. I don't get offended anymore when people challenge me or push me. I pray, I stay humble, and I learn. Let's go over this last one. Demonstrate courage. Courage. I like this sign I found. Courage is the willingness to act in spite of fear. Guys, listen to this. During times of stress or uncertainty, high performers recognize and honor the strength in the struggle. That's why they don't complain about the hard times that come, but understand it's part of the process. Divorce the outcome and marry the process. They are not afraid to share who they are and what they stand for. Okay? They dive in and listen through fear. Brendan said this. And they never quit, no matter what. Knowing that process will be hard. Not just accepting that it will be hard, but appreciating that working through the tough times is necessary for success. Makes you less afraid. Makes you less afraid to step out into your destiny. If you want the courage to stay the course, to overcome obstacles, to honor the struggle, don't focus on changing the world. Decide who you're doing it for, and then work hard for them. That will give you all the courage you need. Guys, I hope that encouraged you guys. I was so encouraged by Brendon Burchard. Before we go, let me just ask, does anybody have a comment or anything that they want to talk about? And I just want to let you guys know, we are preparing for the Physique Challenge. If you are not on the LVN Freedom Fighters Facebook page, get on there today. We're going to post some things for you guys to post. We're going to boost some posts because you can get as many customers as you want. I can tell you right now, if I got 35,000 people to engage in one of my posts, I would get thousands of them on Physique. I'd get hundreds of them minimum, okay? Because everybody right now came to that point. I see why they started this March, because the gym was real busy in January and February. And in March, there's nobody in there, okay? Nobody. So I'm going to put some stuff in there that you can run and boost some posts. Guys, you got to be intentional. Moving and pushing forward and being intentional is why so many people will know, like, and trust you. They want to see, guys, if you use, I'm going to tell you what you're going to see from Lisa and us. We're going to use Facebook for business and business only. We're unplugging our TV, and it's only going on Sunday. We're going to be intentional. You know why? Because we're going to impact lives like never before. Her and I have never been more excited to help you and help you guys grow. So before we go, does anybody have a comment or a question about anything that I've talked about? Maybe something that they learned tonight that they're going to put into action. Maybe they have a question. Just unmute yourself. And, Fred was let's roll, Michael. Hey, Sean. Anybody have a comment or a question? Guys, this is good stuff.
Hey, Michael. It's Mike. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, go for it.
So just talking about courage. So this week, I felt I was stretching myself. And as a result of kind of having, when you're talking to people and you're like, do I ask? Do I ask this question I want to ask? Or do I just kind of keep the conversation comfortable? And this week, I intentionally had 3 uncomfortable conversations, which led to 3 appointments that you and I are going to be having on Tuesday with not customers, but distributors. So yeah, I think, guys, yeah, it is a shift. And I think it's just like, why not? Why not have a conversation? Why not say what you don't think you should say and see what happens? And for me, it was 3 for 3. And it was, it just confirmed that there is a process. You have to get out of your comfort zone. And so often when you do, I think you're going to find really good results. I was just really encouraged by that. And it was really you, Michael, pushing me to say, don't be afraid to do it and really focus on process. So when I did this too, it wasn't about just jumping into a follow-up. It was, hey, there's a video I want to show you, but I need to know when I can talk to you about it afterwards. And then I got those firmed up. So it is this shift in mindset of duplicating a process and following a process and getting practice at it. So it was a good week for me.
Thank you for sharing that. And guys, it's all about the process. Okay, it's all about the process. You learn and you grow. You learn and you grow. Learn and you grow. Anybody else? Question or comment?
Michael, this is Christine.
Hi,
Thank you.
Christine.
Hi. Thank you so much. It actually was so emotional to watch tonight because after seeing so many things and learning so much and just not pushing through to do it, I just want to thank you so much because this really just kind of made a shift in me today, and I've been getting towards there. But I just really appreciate what you're doing.
Congratulations.
So, thank
Congratulations. And I'm so glad that Christine brought that up because Lisa and I have done it. We went to Thrive last year and we came home and we had all these videos and we spent $10,000 on VIP day with Mark Lack. We had all these videos. We're like, holy crap, we didn't look at any of them. We didn't put, like Mark Lack is getting people to get like, and I'm going to have Mark come on and share some stuff with you guys in a couple weeks. Mark is a branding guy. He's speaking at my live event. He's a self-made millionaire at 29, guys, at 29. But no business expense, no college degrees, just getting after it. So remember, guys, anybody can do this. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you don't like doing what you're doing, make a change and let other people help you. Connect with people who are doing it and go after it, guys. You can do whatever you can do whatever you put your mind to. When 24 and 25-year-old people are crushing business, and 21, I met a 21-year-old girl that's making 6 figures, who quit college. Come on, guys. Anybody can do this. Anybody else? One or two more people, comment or question. Anybody else? All right, guys. All right. Yes.
This is Robert Duran.
Robert Duran, go ahead, my friend.
Just want to say thank you, man. Very motivating, very inspiring. And what you did, what I like is you call your own flaws out and you let people know. And that's one of the biggest things that, you're not faking everything. You're saying, look, I've done this wrong. This is what I've learned. And by saying your flaws, it motivates us to be like, you know what? It's okay. We're all in this growing process. And it just makes it more personal. It also gets us more emotional, and emotion is what connects people. So excellent job, man. I mean, this was awesome.
Thank you for saying that. And Robert, here's another point. Christine said it. Now Robert said it. Guys, you have to come out of your comfort zone. I'm watched people this weekend come out of their comfort zone like crazy. People who wouldn't even talk to people. We're bringing people over to Lisa. And, just guys, you can stretch yourself as much as you want. You just have to make the first step. I was related to Peter wanting to get out of the boat. He's a fisherman. Guys are safe in the boat, right? God wants him to walk on water. Nobody wants to do that. Guys, I have made so many mistakes. I've learned. I got into a car accident. I got overweight. I'm in shape. Guys, I'm super excited about helping people through this physique challenge. I do want to say one more thing before you guys go. Don't forget, if you get somebody signed up and you have to message me or Lisa, we're not just going to give out menu plans that people pay thousands of dollars for us to help them on. We will give them to you if you start to get people signed up. Guys, let me just tell you something. If you're not doing that, you're not going to get the full. Guys, people want things. It's called, one of the things that Russell does with ClickFunnels is he does a perfect webinar. And everything that he does a perfect webinar, right? And it's showing people and then giving people stuff to get them to buy stuff. You give them, you say, hey, look, you're going to get, and this is what I'm going to do during the challenge, okay? On Sunday nights, I'm going to get on here. We'll still have our Thursday night call, but on Sunday night, I'm going to jump on here and answer all of your customers' questions. So use that as a tool. One Sunday night, you'll get to be with a coach, a trainer, and a nutritionist, and he's going to give you menu plans that people pay $1,000 for. So guys, you have 7 days before the challenge starts. Let's start getting people motivated and moving. And then it leads you into getting them to watching the Biohacking Your Body. And then they want to take Protandim. And then they want to do more. And they want to do a business, right? Guys, if you're not using the prebiotic, you're missing out, okay? Lisa and I are, my stomach's getting flatter and flatter and flatter by using the prebiotic. So, all right, guys, thank you guys so much for joining tonight. I love you guys. I pray that you guys will go out and implement some of these things. I'm so encouraged by the things that you guys have said and just how it's exactly what God wants for you guys tonight. And that you guys are overcomers and you're winners and you guys can go out and do this. So, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to end the recording. Thank you, thank you, thank you.